Hello everybody, how are you doing? It is Wednesday evening. I'm out in the shop, going to goof around a little bit tonight. I have a project that I'd like to work on. I may start on it tonight, I may not. I still have a few things to think out with the cap. Uh, a lot of new things in the shop. I want to show you guys around a little bit. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law are moving, and I went over Sunday. I went over Sunday and helped a little bit. And man, he tried to give me so much stuff out of his shop, but a lot of it I already had, or I just got rid of some like it. I just didn't need the extra stuff. So I turned a ton of stuff away, but I did pick up a few things. Let me click on a link here. There we go. I did pick up a few things and brought them home with me, and I'd like to show those to you. The first things he gave me, this thing is brand new. It's got a little dust on it, but that won't hurt anything. It is a paper towel dispenser and a couple of rolls of paper towels. The mounting hardware is inside. I'm going to find a good spot to mount it, and this would be great to have in the shop. I think you can get these like at Sam's and some of the places like that, so that'll be awesome to have. I picked this up from, this is a piece of, I think it's Trex. It's like a wood plastic mixture. I don't know what I can do with it, but you know, I'll find something. He gave me a whole bunch of fittings for my air tools and my compressor, a couple of the nozzles. I got some WOG valves, stuff like that. That's going to be handy to have. Check out the Makita 3612 he gave me. This thing is awesome. I mean, it's dirty, a little bit dusty, and that's it. It's like brand new other than that. I got this entire bag of rags. These are going to be great at the metal lathe. And a couple pairs of gloves. I got some small Lexan blocks that are thick, and then I got a whole bunch of really thin sheets of Lexan, which is pretty sweet. Now that is not the scratch resistant stuff, so I have to be careful where and how I use it, but that's pretty awesome. Check this out from my buddy Ray Gonzalez. He molded these for me so that I can use them for black sections on kitless pins. Ray, thank you. This is awesome. This is a sweet little package, guys. Now there's 3 different things that I bought in here that came from different places, and I put them all in one little bag. But I've got a whole bunch, I think like 10 Sierra transmissions. I've got an M4 tap and die. I've got an what was that? M8 by 0.75 tap, I think. I've got some replacements, which we're going to try here in a little bit for Sierra pins, to turn a standard Sierra pin into a lead pin or a mechanical pencil. I got some springs for Sierras, but I bought all this stuff and it finally came in today. So this is really awesome to have. This is going to help me out with some of my kitless stuff. And I'm sure there's a couple of other things around here that I picked up and I can't quite put my finger on them right now, but the shop is a wreck. So that's another thing I really need to think about. I need to think about taking some time to clean this shop and just get organized, because man, it gets dirty, not dirty, cluttered with stuff so quickly. And I'm always bringing stuff like that in. And a while back we had a garage sale and I purged a bunch of stuff. I mean, a bunch of stuff. So what am I doing? I'm restockpiling on a bunch of stuff. But that's some pretty cool stuff. I'm excited to have that router. That's a big one. That's a nice plunge router. That's a nice router. So yeah, I'm going to get going on some stuff and see if I can find anything to do, and I will keep you guys posted on what happens today. Well, guys, I just had my second failed attempt, which is not unusual. I had 2 or 3 on the last thing I did, so I'm not upset about it. This is the tool that I made. It was just an old 1-inch paddle bit. It was just as dull and wore out as can be. And I have several others, so it really wasn't a big loss to use it. It worked fairly well. I drilled the first blank out with that paddle bit. Did a nice job. The issue was I cut it a little too narrow. The diameter is off on it. So I had to get a drill bit and rerun the hole to get it to the right diameter. I turned my tenon, and before my tenon was about 15.5 millimeters. I needed to take it down to 13, but I noticed there was some chip out on the end of it where I hadn't squared the blank before I started. So I decided, well, I'll grab a square carbide tool and go in. I'll just lay it against there and I'll clean that end up. And once again, I tell you guys, I get asked all the time, why don't you use carbide? And I have carbide tools. I have Easy Wood carbide tools, which are good quality carbide tools. And I hate them. I absolutely hate them. Carbide is so grabby, and it got me again. It grabbed that tenon and I just destroyed it. So, okay, no big deal. I already kind of had 1 run through, so I got another blank and I put it on there, and I changed my bit sizes a little bit to kind of dial it in, and I changed my depths a little bit, and I drilled my depth, and then I drilled my second depth hole that I needed so that everything fit nice. And I had a really nice fit. I was happy with it. Turned my tenon down to 13 millimeters and started putting threads on the tenon, and it just gave way. It crushed. I honestly think that one, because there was enough meat there, it shouldn't have done that, because basically that's the size tenon I turn all the time on my standard nibs when I do oh, I just lost my train of thought. But it's the same thing I use. Actually, it's the same thing I use on cap and body. And so I turn them that size all the time. So I think maybe there was an air bubble or a weak spot in the material that I'm using, which, you know, because I was just basically cutting threads and it was going nice and smooth. And all of a sudden we're almost to the end and I just hear crack and the darn thing sheared off. So I'm not really upset about it. I'm going to call it quits for tonight. I learned a lot. And I'll come back out tomorrow and we're going to go at it again. I think that blank that's on there, I think it has enough material to where I could take another shot at it. I just need to go in and just drill my hole a little deeper, you know, to account for the 5.7 or 5.9 millimeter or whatever that tenon was, 7.9 millimeter tenon that I sheared off. So, but I'm actually pretty happy. Like I said, we're going to waste a couple of more blanks probably, but I'm eventually going to get that. And when I do, man, it's going to be nice. It's going to be a fun project. So, that's it for me, guys. I'll keep you posted on what happens tomorrow night. Have a great evening, and I will talk to you again very, very soon.